it going there, everybody? It's Mr. Zen over here bringing you guys a brand new Tower of God chapter discussion. And for today's segment, guys, we're going to be talking about is chapter 355. I believe it's episode 255, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Wow, guys, pretty far into the series. But needless to say, let's get on to it with this actual chapter itself, as we actually get to see that Urik Mazano is actually telling Bon, would you like to join my game, like basically his own game. And it's hilarious because Bon was just looking at him like, whoa, you know, like it was so much for him to handle that Urik just said, oh, you know, don't worry, you don't have to tell me now. Let me know when you're ready, man. And you can be happy to join my crew. And I'm just looking at it like, that's pretty cool, man. Honestly, if Urik Mazano is keeping you on that high radar, that's how you know Bomb really is that much of a prominent figure, even though we already all know that. But still, regardless, it's still interesting to see how the actual connections that Bomb has with these high rankers themselves. I mean, with Yuri, Garam, you know, we just see every single one of them just delve into Bomb's world. That makes it very interesting that Bomb himself is more now literally a political figure than instead of a prominent figure in a sense. Now he's like, the way he's kind of going to the tower is through politics. It's all what he's really doing. He's knowing the right people in order to get where he is actually going to, which I think is very hilarious, because even Kun kind of made it very obvious in the actual chapter that, you know, like this is now getting so much out of hand that, you know, that, you know, just it's getting to the point that it's becoming the norm now. That's the way that kind of Kun is kind of seeing it, that just seeing all these powerful characters just come around them is just literally that's their life now, as they're going through the higher floors themselves, of course. But needless to say, though, the thing that made the chapter very, very interesting, folks, was the fact that the way everybody thought that Bomb was actually with Urek, their relationship as to how Bomb was with him, it was very hilarious because of the fact that everybody considers Urek not a pedophile, but more like as if he's like a rapist of some sort, because they were all telling Bomb, what did Urek do to you? Did he do anything to you? And then Bomb, of course, is, you know, ignorantly replies, oh, he just took me somewhere. And everybody was just like, what did Urek do to you? Like, everybody's just looking at it, and Urek is just looking at everybody like as if like, well, I'm right here, but I personally didn't really do anything. Like, he's just kind of like awkwardly just hearing everybody's saying these boisterous replies, and it's so hilarious because, you know, needless to say, us as a reader, we don't really see that with Urik Mazano. He's more of a ladies' man. I don't really kind of consider him going towards the men themselves, which I think is very hilarious. Everybody thinks that Urik is like practically gay, which I think is very also hilarious because, you know, he kind of flirts with a lot of women. So to them to think that Bomb has actually been molested by Urik is very hilarious in my personal opinion. Very funny. But the chapter does get serious in the later part of the actual arc itself, is the fact that we see that Helljoy himself, he's actually coming to terms, or at least he tried to come to terms, I should say that. He tried to come to terms with his life, and that is, no, he did not. He was rejecting the life that he had. He wanted the red Thrysa back in his body. It seems that, more or less to say that he's reached that point in his life where he actually wants that power. He wants that freedom to do whatever he wants. But it just, to me, it seemed like that red Thrysa was the easy way out for Helljoy, as Urik Mazano was kind of telling Helljoy, because, you know, the way that Helljoy and Urik Mazano have that friendship that they have, it's like a sensei and a student kind of thing going on. I love it, the fact that Urik Mazano was still telling Helljoy, you know, open your eyes, man. This is the real world. The world you were living was very fictional. You were living in a world that, you know, that was handed to you, but at the same time it can be taken from you. So it's better for Helljoy himself to actually, you know, just start all over. You know, the world is not ended. You know, everything can be built from scratch. And to me, Helljoy just doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to go through those harsh trials over and over again. Like I said, he wants that easygoing life. He looks like a very lazy guy. It's like he literally went from Helljoy to Average Joy, which I kind of find hilarious, that he actually went to literally being an average Joe in this particular chapter. And it was very sad too, because we see Helljoy actually crying and busting his tears. But to me, it just seems like I said that he's now human. You know, he's crying. He's letting out these emotions. He's like a little baby, but at the same time, you know, it's just, you know, every man for himself. Everybody has the right to get what they want. But like I said, Heljo himself needed to come to terms as to what the reality was. And I mean, come on, you know, having all that godly power really kind of messes up with your brain at the same time, though. So sorry for him. But then the later chapter, guys, we get to another serious actual predicament, and that is Joaquin. Joaquin actually stole all the souls that were in the soul room itself without the soul ladle, which was kind of interesting because Joaquin has like guessing the ability to actually break spells, or not really necessarily. He didn't break the spell off where the soul room was at. Needless to say, he more kind of adjusted it so he could actually bend it towards his own will, which makes it very interesting because he didn't necessarily break it, which is very interesting because the way they kind of the artist kind of drew it, it seemed more the fact that like he actually kind of broke it, the way he kind of lunged at it. But then we get a beautiful shot of Joaquin actually with like wings of some sort. Look very interesting in my honest opinion. We don't really see a lot of feathery creatures in the Tower of God, which I thought, you know, was very interesting. And even a lot of other people were looking around at Joaquin, looking like, oh, you know, like, you know, he looks very majestic, he looks beautiful. But it's hilarious also at the same time because Joaquin, he still has a prominent figure, and that is Udic Bazzano. Will Udic Bazzano actually fight Joaquin in this arc itself? And I still have to say that I personally feel that maybe Joaquin will run away. He will run away, and that is because of the fact that I don't think he'll be necessarily ready, but more or less to say the fact that he needs to probably acquire something else for him to become like that's just my honest opinion. That might possibly happen, but if he does fight Udic, to me it might seem more like he needs to at least gain an army so that way they can have Udic Bazzano incapacitated in the meantime while Joaquin actually goes fight Bomb. Because like I said, like to me, I feel like more Joaquin is actually after Bomb himself, or at least what Joaquin's standpoint of view. Because remember, Joaquin, his only goal right now at the moment is getting these souls. So I don't really see Joaquin necessarily staying on this floor after that. Like there's no really real reason after just staying on the floor. And, like he could literally just bounce and just okay, time to start amassing my own army and just you know, getting ready to fight against these prominent figures. Yeah, I can see Joaquin doing that. But yeah, but last topic I do want to mention is the fact that in this chapter we see Rachel, of course. The poison is still not dealt with, and that poison, as well as we're kind of noticing, is the fact that this poison that Rachel's got, I don't really see it as a tactic that Bomb should be worried about, because Bron Deli will probably retract the poison. I mean, Joaquin stole the souls, so technically, as a compensation method, he will take out the poison out of Rachel, and Rachel survives. It's a done deal. And the reason I say that is because the fact that Joaquin's now the new enemy that they might have to face. And Grant Deli will probably actually see Rachel like, oh, you know, I'm sorry that I poisoned you. You probably have to go to an apology there. Or either that, or Bomb will actually have to intervene and actually persuade Grant Deli to actually take out the poison, because Bomb, remember, he's the savior of this country. Like I said, like I don't really see Rachel in a dangerous predicament. I really don't. To me, it just seems like it's more or less as the artist kind of saying like, here you go, fans. You guys hate Rachel so much. Let me give you a little happy reason for you guys to hate her even more. Like he's just teasing us at like how close how Rachel is to death right there. Hilarious, but good plot device right there. Not gonna lie to you. But that's it for today's segment, guys. Let me know down in the comments below what are you guys' thoughts on the chapter. So like I said, I don't think Rachel's that in a dangerous predicament. I really don't. But Joaquin, he's like I said, he's in a predicament, and the thing with Joaquin as well is like, what's he gonna do once he's got the new souls? Will he stay and fight Bomb, or will he leave not the tower, I'm sorry, will he leave the floor itself in order, like I said, to gain his own army? Because like I said, he's a king and he needs his own army. But like I said, let me throw that down in the comments, guys, and as always, we'll see you guys again in the next video, and don't forget to subscribe if you guys enjoy my content, guys. But peace out, folks.